Hello children. So last time we have studied about the respiratory volumes, fine, and I told you about the spirometer which will help in drawing the, which will help in taking the graphical presentation of the respiratory volume, fine. So today let us go through the next step of the respiratory system, that is next step of the breathing, exchange of gases. So exchange of gases will take place at different level in the body, like in the alveoli, in the body cells, and between the body and the environment. Fine. So alveoli, they are the main sites of the exchange of gases. So they are the primary sites of exchange of gases. Fine. So what are alveoli? You know that they are the structural and functional units of the respiratory system, alveoli. Fine. And these are the primary site of exchange of respiratory gases. So this you have to know. Then exchange of gases also takes place between the blood and the tissue. It also takes place between the blood and the tissue. So exchange of oxygen and carbon dioxide takes place in the pressure gradient. This you have to know by the simple diffusion. So the exchange of gases in the alveoli and also in the blood, between the blood and the tissues, will take place through the pressure gradient by a simple process called diffusion. So already you know what do we mean by diffusion. That is, gases from their higher concentration, they will move to the lower concentration. So that is called the diffusion. Now pressure contributed by individual gas in a mixture of gases is called partial pressure. So you have to know that for the exchange of gases between the alveoli and the blood, in the blood capillaries and between the blood and the tissues, is mainly depending upon the partial pressure of carbon dioxide and oxygen. Carbon dioxide and oxygen, and apart from this, other factors are also there which we will be dealing in the coming slides. So here mainly the exchange of gases between alveoli and the blood, it depends upon the partial pressure and the membranous structure, respiratory membrane you can say. Now first let us know what do you mean by partial pressure. So partial pressure, you know that in the atmosphere only oxygen or the carbon dioxide won't be there, other gases also will be there. Fine. Among other gases, the oxygen, how much pressure it is contributing, that is called the partial pressure of oxygen. If we are considering carbon dioxide, then it is called partial pressure of carbon dioxide. Then how do you define it? That is pressure contributed by individual gas in a mixture of gases. How do you define it? It is the pressure contributed by individual gases. It is the pressure contributed by individual gases in a mixture of gases is called partial pressure. You have to know here the partial pressure of oxygen at different places in the body and partial pressure of carbon dioxide in different places in our respiratory system, which will favor the exchange of what gases, that you have to know. Now diffusion of oxygen. So diffusion of oxygen, so here you have to know the partial pressure which favors the exchange of the, here I wrote the partial pressure of oxygen, so it could be the partial pressure of oxygen, children. It must be the partial pressure of oxygen. So here the partial pressure of oxygen, partial pressure of oxygen in the alveolar air is 104, that is 104 of mercury, millimeter of mercury. So here diffusion, let me just remove this term. So don't want diffusion. So here we will write partial pressure of oxygen. So let me just so I told you what do you mean by partial pressure of oxygen. What do you mean by partial pressure of oxygen? So it is the pressure contributed by oxygen in a mixture of gases. Fine. So here we will write partial pressure of oxygen at different places. Like in the alveolar air, it is 104. It is 104 mm of mercury in the venous blood. Venous blood means what? Deoxygenated blood. The blood in the venous, which will carry the deoxygenated blood, it is 40 mm of mercury, and oxygen diffuses from alveoli to the venous blood. Fine. So here, when the diffusion of oxygen will occur in the alveoli, the partial pressure of oxygen will be 104 mm of mercury, and partial pressure of oxygen in the venous blood will be 40 mm of mercury. So here this I will show in the next diagram. Fine. So at that time the diffusion of gases will occur from alveoli to the vein, the blood capillary. And diffusion of carbon dioxide, when it is going to occur? So diffusion of carbon dioxide when it is going to occur when the partial pressure of venous blood is 45 mm of mercury, and that of alveolar air, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide when it is 40 mm of mercury. At that time, carbon dioxide from the alveolar, from the venous blood, it will enter into the alveolar air. So sorry children, what is given here? So what we are studying? Exchange of gases. What is the primary site of exchange of gases? It is the alveoli. It is the alveoli. Fine. So alveoli, in the alveoli you are getting the atmospheric air, and in the atmospheric air oxygen is high. Fine. So how it will come out in the blood vessel? When it will come out in the blood vessel, that is given here. So here the oxygen partial pressure in the alveoli is 104. Fine. 104 mm of mercury, and that in the alveoli, it is 104, and in the venous blood, this side, when in the blood, what is the partial pressure of oxygen? It is 40 mm of mercury. Fine. So here what will happen? The oxygen concentration is more in the alveoli and less in the blood. Thus the oxygen from the alveoli will automatically diffuse into the blood. So that is how the diffusion of oxygen will occur in the from the alveoli into the blood capillary. Fine. Now, how the diffusion of carbon dioxide will take place at the alveolar level? Now let me take out this diagram. So this, let me vanish it, rub it completely. So let me rub this completely, children. Okay. Now, so diffusion of carbon dioxide, how it will occur at the alveolar site. Now let us draw the rough diagram of the alveoli. So this is the alveoli. Fine. And here the blood is bringing, the blood vessels are bringing blood from the different parts of the body. So the partial pressure of carbon dioxide. So partial pressure of carbon dioxide in the alveoli, it is 40 mm of mercury. Fine. And in the blood capillary, it is 45 mm of mercury. So in the blood capillary, the partial pressure of carbon dioxide is 45 mm of mercury. Why it is 45 mm of mercury? Because in the body cells, the metabolic activities will be taking place, and this will relieve carbon dioxide as a byproduct. Automatically, the blood will be carrying this carbon dioxide with this. So in the venous blood, the carbon dioxide concentration will be more compared to the alveoli. So imagine from where the carbon dioxide will diffuses from what part. So the carbon dioxide will diffuse from the venous blood vessel, venous blood into the alveoli. That is how the exchange of air will occur between the alveoli and the blood. Hope I am clear. So what you have to remember? So air will move from its higher concentration to the lower concentration. Automatically the air which is breathed in, the air what we took, that will be having more amount of oxygen. So oxygen from the alveoli is diffused into the blood, and the blood will be carrying the carbon dioxide from the different parts of the body, which is produced as a result of metabolic activity, will go out through the alveoli. Hope it is clear. Fine. Now next slide. Here it is, diagram is shown. See, when you compare the solubility of carbon dioxide and oxygen, the solubility of carbon dioxide is more than the oxygen. Fine. So the amount of carbon dioxide that can diffuse through the diffusion membrane per unit difference in the partial pressure is much higher compared with that of the oxygen. Fine. So that you have to remember that the solubility capacity of the carbon dioxide is more when we compare with that of the oxygen. So respiratory membrane means what? So the respiratory membrane, it is formed from the three structures, that is the squamous epithelium of the alveoli, endothelium of the alveolar capillaries, and the basement membranes between them. So these tissues, about the tissues you have studied. Fine. So here the respiratory membrane means this alveoli, it is made up of squamous epithelial cells. So this, they are made up of squamous epithelial cells. Fine. And these blood capillaries are also made up of squamous epithelial cell, but they are called as endothelium. So these two membranes, of course, they have to cross the blood, the air has to cross. And you know that the epithelial cells are present on the basement membrane. The epithelial cells are present on the basement membrane. The basement membrane of the alveolar squamous epithelial tissue and the basement membrane of the endothelial cells. These, the air has to cross. Together, the thickness of this respiratory membrane is less than 1 millimeter. It is very less. So the air from the alveoli easily passes out into the blood capillaries of the alveoli. Fine. So what is the respiratory membrane? So the squamous epithelial tissue and the basement membrane which is present here. Fine. Basement membrane, where it is present? It is present in the alveolar region here and also here. So together these three constitute the respiratory membrane. So together the thickness will be very less, that is less than 1 millimeter. What is the thickness of the respiratory membrane? The thickness of the respiratory membrane will be less than 1 millimeter. So it is very thin. That is why air from the alveoli, according to the pressure gradient, it will come in from the alveoli into the blood capillaries, and carbon dioxide from the blood capillaries will go out into the alveoli. So here the diagram is shown very clearly. In the alveoli, oxygen partial pressure is more, so the oxygen from the alveoli will enter into the blood. Fine. And carbon dioxide concentration in the venous blood will be more and in the alveolar air it will be less. So carbon dioxide from the blood capillaries enters into the alveoli, and from the alveoli it is expired through the respiratory system. Hope it is clear, children. So one more thing, just let me say here only. So you know that the alveoli, they are lined by squamous epithelial cells. Fine. So in the squamous epithelial cell, there are two types. So one is pneumothorax, pneumocystis 1 and the pneumocystis 2. Pneumocystis 1, they will help in the exchange of gases. Fine, pneumocystis, they will help in the exchange of the gases. So some more cells are there which are called pneumocystis 2. Here and there they will be there. So what do? They will secrete a substance, a mucus-like substance which will coat this alveolar layer. Inner alveolar layer is coated by the secretion of this pneumocyte cell 2. Second type, that is pneumocyte type 1 cell and pneumocyte type 2 cell. Pneumocyte type 1 cell, it will help for the exchange of the gases, and pneumotype 2 cell, it will help in the secretion of the mucus-like substance which is called surfactant. Fine, surfactant. What is that called? Surfactant. Fine. So this surfactant will help, it will prevent the collapse of the alveoli during expiration. That is why our alveoli will never get collapsed. Fine, you have to remember. ಏನು ನೆನ್ಪಿಡ್ಬೇಕಂತಂದರೆ ಇದು alveoli ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಮಸ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ ಸೆಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಆವರಿಸಲ್ಪಟ್ಟಿರ್ತದಿಲ್ಲ. ಈ ಸ್ಕ್ವಾಮಸ್ ಎಪಿಥೀಲಿಯಲ್ನಾಗ ಎರಡು ಟೈಪ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಇರ್ತಾವೆ. ನಿಮೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಟೈಪ್ 1 ನಿಮೋಸೈಟ್, ಟೈಪ್ 2 ನಿಮೋಸೈಟ್. ಟೈಪ್ 1 ನಿಮೋಸೈಟ್ ಏನದ ಗ್ಯಾಸಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಚೇಂಜ್ ಸಲುವಾಗಿಂದ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಟೈಪ್ 2 ನಿಮೋಸೈಟ್ಸ್ ಏನದಾವಿಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಸರ್ಫಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಸೆಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದ. ಆ ಸರ್ಫಕ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತದ, ಅದೊಂದು ಕೆಮಿಕಲ್ ಮ್ಯೂಕಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟೆನ್ಸ್. ಅದೇನಿರ್ತದೆ, ಈ ಅಲ್ವಿಯೋಲೈ ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ, ಥಿನ್ ಕೋಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತದೆ. ಈ ಕೋಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕಾರಣ ಯಾವಾಗ ನಾವು ಏರ್ ಎಕ್ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ, ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಎಕ್ಸೇಲ್ ದ ಏರ್, ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ alveoli will never get collapsed. Just you remember this. Fine. So that is about the respiratory membrane I told. Hope went inside. What all things the respiratory membrane will involve? It involves the squamous epithelial cells of the alveoli and endothelial cells of the blood capillary and the basement membrane between these two. Together, how much thick it is? Less than 1 millimeter. Fine. So this much you have to remember. Now let me move to the next slide, children. Okay, here we have got a chart of partial pressure. Here we have got a chart of partial pressure which is given in the NCERT. Partial pressure in the atmospheric air is very high. Partial pressure of oxygen in the atmospheric air is 159 mm of mercury. So usually partial pressure of air, how do you measure? In the millimeter of mercury. Here the unit is given. This unit is common. So as it is given here, it is not mentioned every time here. So partial pressure of oxygen in the atmospheric air will be 159 ml and that of carbon dioxide will be 0.3 mm of mercury. So when the atmospheric air is inhaled into the alveoli, there the oxygen concentration will get reduced because in the respiratory system, carbon dioxide also will be there in the dead space. You know that in the nasal chamber, in the trachea, bronchi, the gas, some amount of gas will be there. Because of the presence of the gases in the dead spaces, the partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide changes here. Fine. So in the alveoli, it is 104 because inhaled air is rich in oxygen and it is having less amount of carbon dioxide. It is 40 mm of mercury. So this much is because of the already some amount of carbon dioxide is there in the respiratory system, that is in the conducting zone. And the partial pressure in the deoxygenated blood. In the deoxygenated blood, that is the blood from which oxygen has been unloaded. it is having 40 and that of carbon dioxide is 45. So when the oxygen is unloaded from the blood, automatically it will get loaded with the carbon dioxide. That is why the partial pressure of carbon dioxide will be more in the deoxygenated blood. And in the oxygenated blood, where you will see the oxygenated blood, the blood which is moving from the lungs to the different parts of the body, that is the pulmonary vein. It will carry oxygenated blood. This you have studied in your high school. So it is having the 95 mm. Its partial pressure is 95 mm of mercury and that of carbon dioxide is 40 mm of mercury. At the tissue again, the carbon dioxide concentration will be more and the oxygen concentration will be less, because in the tissue the carbon dioxide is produced as a byproduct and oxygen will get unloaded at the tissue level. So these pressures you have to remember. So what mainly you have to remember, wherever you will see less partial pressure of carbon dioxide, it is not below than 40. Just you remember that one. Where the carbon dioxide concentration is more, it is 45 mm of mercury. Where it will be more, in the deoxygenated blood and in the tissues. Why in the tissues? It is because of metabolic activities. Why in the deoxygenated blood? Because the oxygen will get unloaded from the blood. So that you have to remember. Hope you can. Now let me go to the next slide. You have to remember this one. Fine. So here the exchange of gases at the alveolar level with a partial pressure. Just this image I have taken. So in the alveoli, this is the diagram of alveoli. Fine. So here you can see that the partial pressure of oxygen. So wanted to use the mouse, my children. Okay, let me use this only. It's not coming. Okay. So here, so the inhaled air, let me take. When you inhale the atmospheric air into the respiratory system, automatically air, where it will come? It will come through the conducting zone into the respiratory zone, that is the alveoli. Fine. In the alveoli, what is the partial pressure of oxygen? It is 104. Fine. And what is the partial pressure of oxygen in the blood? In the venous blood. Fine. In the venous blood, it is less. It is 40 mm of mercury. So here it is given. Automatically, oxygen from the alveoli will enter into the blood capillary, and that of carbon dioxide in the blood, it is 45 mm of mercury. Here it is given 46. You can remember it as 46 or 45. But in NCERT it is given 45. Let us remember 45 mm of mercury. So from the blood, the carbon dioxide will diffuse out into the lungs. So this image you have to keep in mind. Fine. So here we have 95 mm of mercury in the NCERT. We have got 95 mm of mercury. Here it is given 100. So little variations will do. Little variations will do. Fine. Now let me go to the next slide. So here the respiration. Next slide we will see the exchange of gases. Well, so you will see the exchange of gases at the tissue level. So when the blood will carry the oxygen and carbon dioxide, blood is having more amount of oxygen, fine, and less amount of carbon dioxide. Automatically the oxygen from the blood is unloaded at the tissue level and the carbon dioxide will get loaded. So in the here you can see it is a tissue. Here you can tissue is taken in the form of a box. So what is the concentration or the partial pressure of oxygen? It is less. Why it is less? Because the body cells will be continuously using oxygen for the oxidation process. So it will be 40 mm of mercury. And that of carbon dioxide is 46 mm of mercury. You can remember this, even 45 mm of mercury. Fine. Now, so arterial blood. You know, arteries always will carry oxygenated blood, and here the partial pressure of oxygen will be 100 mm of mercury. So this 100 mm of mercury, in the NCERT it is given 95 mm of mercury. I told little variations will do. So here, so 100 also you can write because more amount of oxygen if it is there. Fine. Now this oxygen from the blood, it will just enter into the blood. I mean, it will from the blood it will enter into the alveoli. Fine. Outside it will be moving. So oxygen from the blood, it will enter into the tissue, and carbon dioxide from the tissue where its concentration is more, it will enter into the blood. So this is the simplified image of exchange of blood at the tissue level. At the tissue level, what you have to remember, oxygen is less and carbon dioxide is more. So carbon dioxide from the tissue will enter into the blood, and oxygen from the blood, it will enter into the tissue. Fine, this much you have to remember. Hope it is clear, children, what you have to remember. So in the alveoli, oxygen from the alveoli enters into the blood, and from the blood carbon dioxide will enter into the alveoli. What will happen at the tissue level? Oxygen from the blood will enter into the tissue, because blood will be carrying the oxygen and carbon dioxide, both it will be carrying. Fine. From where it is less, there it will move. So where oxygen concentration is less, in the tissue, so oxygen from the blood vessel, it will move into the tissue, and carbon dioxide, it is more in the body tissues, so from there it will enter into the blood for the exhalation. Fine. So this is the exchange of blood at the alveoli and the body tissue level. Fine. Now let us go to the next slide, that is the transportation of gases. So transportation of gases. Now you know that the gases, we can say, so gases from the atmosphere entered into the system. It entered into the respiratory system. Fine. Respiratory system. What are the ultimate units for the exchange of gases? It is the alveoli. Alveoli. Fine. So from the alveoli where the gases entered, it entered into the blood through the diffusion. Fine. So from the alveoli, the gases entered into the blood. What all gases entered? Oxygen and carbon dioxide. How from the alveoli it entered into the blood? It is through diffusion. It is through diffusion. Let me write here. It is through diffusion. And you know what is diffusion? From the higher concentration to the lower concentration. Now let us take the gases entered in the blood and the oxygen. Mainly, let me just take an example of oxygen. The oxygen which entered into the blood, how it will go to the different parts of the body, because each and every cell of the body is in need of oxygen. How these gases is transported to the different parts of the body. So that we are dealing in the next step, that is the transportation of gases. What we are dealing here, the transportation of gases. Fine. Let us see how these gases will get transported in the body. Fine. So now blood is the media for the transportation of the gases. Fine. Blood is the media for the transportation of the gases. And you know, in the blood, what is there? What are the components of the blood? You already have studied. What are the components? Blood cells and the plasma. So both plasma and the blood cells, what are the components of the blood? You have studied in the structural organization. Fine. Plasma and the blood cells. Blood cells. Fine. These both will help in the transportation of the gases, plasma and the blood cells. And in the blood cells, mainly the RBCs will help, not the WBCs, not the platelets. That you have to remember. See, among the blood cells which will help for the transportation of the gases, it is the RBCs. Fine. Now, let us just see the transportation of the gases. I mean, what percentage of gases will get transported from the plasma and the blood cells. Let us see that today, and we will just finish off the class. So this also, let me just remove from the screen. Okay, transportation of the gases. So it is actually 5-mark question. Oxygen transportation will be asked for 3 marks, and the carbon dioxide transportation will be asked for the 5 marks. Now blood, it is the medium for the transportation of oxygen and carbon dioxide. In our body, mainly the carbon dioxide and oxygen, they are transported through the blood. So about 97% of the oxygen is transported by the RBCs. 97% of oxygen is transported by the RBCs, and remaining 3% is transported by the plasma. It is carried in dissolved state. And already I told you that the solubility of oxygen is very less when we compare with that of the carbon dioxide. And nearly 20 to 25% of carbon dioxide is transported by the RBCs. And 70% of carbon dioxide is transported as bicarbonate ions, and 7% of carbon dioxide is transported through the plasma in the dissolved state. Fine. So this in detail we will be dealing in the coming period. Hope children, today's class you understood. So what I told today, just I told the exchange of gases. So exchange of gases at the alveolar level and at the tissue level. So at the alveolar level, so and in the alveoli, you know that the inhaled gas will enter automatically here, and it is the part of a respiratory zone where the main exchange of gases will occur. It is a primary site, I told. So here in the inhaled air, the concentration of the oxygen is more when compared with that of the blood vessels. So oxygen from the alveoli enters into the blood. And in the blood, the carbon dioxide concentration will be more. So the carbon dioxide from the blood, it will enter into the alveoli. Fine. This one is clear. And second, where second diffusion or the second exchange where you have studied. So you have studied exchange of gases at the tissue level. So in the tissue, the concentration of oxygen is less. Concentration of oxygen is less compared with that of carbon dioxide. So oxygen from the blood enters into the tissue, and carbon dioxide from the tissue will enter into the blood for the exhalation. So these two things I told. What are the factors which are helping for the diffusion of the gases in these two areas? In the alveoli, it is the respiratory membrane, which include the squamous epithelium of the alveoli and endothelial cells of the blood vessel and the respiratory membrane. So together it constitutes the respiratory membrane. So this I told, and it is less than 1 mm of mercury. So the gases here will get easily diffused. It includes partial pressure as well as respiratory membrane. Other factors are also there, which we will be discussing in the coming classes. Fine. Hope today's class it is clear, children. So you have to remember this chart. The partial pressure of oxygen and carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, in the alveoli, deoxygenated, oxygenated blood, and at the tissue level. You have to by heart this chart. Fine. Hope today's class is clear, and in the next class we will be going to the